go again. All right, folks. Thank you for your patience amidst yet again technical difficulties. We tried to come on for a little while previously, but that feed got. Anyway, right now, we're back ready to build on the great and divine system, or the grand scheme, as some might say, and understanding our place in it, right? From a spiritual perspective. So, spiritually, souls, to the best of our understanding, when we go within and understand on the subject, souls are created or were created in generations, right? Or waves, if you will. And souls, being the eternal expressions of the Creator's energy that they are, from on the spiritual side of things, don't want for anything, right? In most situations, the most valuable thing that they can attain is spiritual maturation through experiences in 3D, 4D corporeal reality. Hence, you are not the you that you see in the mirror unless you are looking in or through your eyes into the you that is inside your physical vessel, right? There is a system in place that lines up with the great wheel, the great astrological wheel, the zodiac wheel, right? Which has the 12 houses in it. So the wheel in itself is representative of the galaxy, right? Or more specifically, our solar system's orbit around the galaxy. And what's interesting is each solar system does this, right? Now, I don't know how many solar systems in each galaxy will have intelligent life, but let's say that there's many, or at least a few. Which, from what I've heard, every time there's some sort of a mathematical model applied to the probability of whether or not there is intelligent life in a plethora of places in space-time, there was always some astronomical ratio in favor of there being intelligent life in many places. And diverse life at that. And what I'm saying to you is that from a spiritual aspect, that's exactly where you come in. You incarnate into a 3D, 4D physical corporeal vessel. And you live that vessel's lifetime, during which, on an individual level, you go through experiences that add toward your spiritual maturation, right? Such is the same with the species. As above, so below. such is the same with each individual species. So what happens is, or at least each species with the potential to become intelligent, self-aware, civilized, and eventually of higher consciousness, right? And the task for each species is to accomplish that by the time you make it one whole revolution around the wheel. They call it the big rev, or the big revolution, right? If they do so, then you will have completed your maturation process as a species high enough for your species to foster higher consciousness, which is ultimately the goal. Through this whole process, you are amassing spiritual maturation. That spiritual maturation has a value that is sort of appraised by the wisdom that you gain, right? For civilization, the task is to gain the wisdom of the ages. And all of this is supposed to take place within the time period that it takes for our solar system to make its way around the center of the galaxy, right? Think of it as a timed test almost, right? You have a certain amount of time in which to complete the task, bang. And that becomes our task both individually and collectively. Spiritual maturation, folks. And it just so happens that when you exhibit those character traits that go along with spiritual maturation, that's a beautiful thing as well. That's a beautiful thing as well, because that's when you're talking about growth. That's the product of that personal, individual growth. That's powerful. All right, folks. But understand that, again, you incarnate into that, or your 3D, 4D corporeal vessel. All the while, you are transmitting, and this goes for everybody on the planet, you are transmitting from your heart center in the form of electromagnetic waves that form your various auric body levels or layers, because your aura is more than just in one layer. It's more than one like mass of energy. No, it's different layers of your energy, almost made tangible, right? But you're constantly projecting through your auric bodies, through your biosphere, and that goes out into the quantum field. Now, what goes out to the quantum field reverberates back down to you as your 3D, 4D corporeal reality. So let's back it up one more time. You're a soul, and you're likely in a group, right? Your soul group. Lo and behold, because time is not a factor, you don't realize how long you've been sort of locked in on what you've been doing. So what you want to do is continue to experience more, to feed more information to the creative source about your experience, so that the creator can experience existence through the eyes of a human being, right? It's a beautiful honor bestowed upon us. And we have an opportunity to evolve in a higher consciousness if we take advantage of our opportunity to gain and grow in spiritual maturation during that time that we're making the big revolution around the center of the galaxy, which is right now. And we've entered into the energy in this particular section or house or area. When I say house, I mean like one of the 12 houses or the zodiac signs associated with them. But the energy that we sit in right now fosters higher consciousness at its power, aiding us all in our opportunity to evolve, to wake up, to remember your divine majesty. So, as we keep in mind this sort of picture of, maybe even sort of put together an org chart in your mind. You're a soul, you incarnate to vessel into a certain species. You go through individual and collective spiritual maturation. Often living many lifetimes. Let me repeat that. Most souls, most old souls that sign up for this kind of duty on the spiritual side of things, they're mostly old souls that will naturally have that inclination of what to do, because that's acquired and accumulated wisdom gained through spiritual maturation, gained through living these experiences. So folks, we have to go through and have gone through this day-to-day struggle between negative low vibrational frequencies and higher positive vibrational frequencies, as each would play out in behavior. And it's interesting because what I described, that process, is not germane only to human beings. It is the way of it in this galaxy. That each species that is given an opportunity, or that evolves into an opportunity to evolve further into higher consciousness through this whole experience of gaining in spiritual maturation through this myriad of experiences that we call a lifetime, or often many lifetimes. Through that, we find that we have an opportunity as a species, right, to truly grow in spiritual maturation and ultimately to ascend with the planet into higher vibrational frequency states, and ultimately exist into and have a consciousness that is multidimensional, right? And some would say moving into a fifth dimensional existence. All right. Thank you, folks, for joining me on another episode of Big Kings. I got so many shows and stuff I'm doing. Build with Big King, the podcast, the original, the first podcast. Build with Big King here on my YouTube channel. So I love you all. I thank you all tremendously. You've been putting up with me through equipment failures, technical difficulties, a lot of different things. Me getting on so super late, being super tired, all of it. And I appreciate all of you. I love you all, and I hope to bring you useful information now and in the future. All right, Big King Sadiq, Worldwide Movement. I'm out. Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect.